name is Christopher Scott. Thanks for joining me for the Maranatha podcast. I serve as the senior pastor at Lakeview Missionary Church. I'm the author of the book, Walking Straight When Life Goes Sideways. Thanks for joining me for this audio podcast that I create each week and publish Wednesday mornings as a way to hopefully educate and encourage you each week from a different passage of Scripture. Thanks again for joining me. This week's podcast is titled Building Relationships and Doing Discipleship. Building Relationships and Doing Discipleship. With a cup of delicious McDonald's coffee sitting on the table, my Bible and some discussion notes ready, I waited. Steam was slowly rising from the cup of coffee, and the Texas sun came in through the air-conditioned window room that I was in. I thought, is anyone going to show up? And one guy did. For more than 2 years, I'd been building relationships with these guys. While a student in seminary, I worked as a caddy at a private golf club in Dallas, Texas. Each day, the caddies lounged in a small cement windowless basement under the clubhouse where we waited to be called upstairs to go out and work for a group of guys that needed a caddy. In that basement, we had no TV, no cell reception, so we played cards, we joked around, we talked about the latest sports scores. After 2 years of this, I got to know the other caddies well. Many were younger than I was. Some had a Christian background, but most didn't. Every day I tried to develop new relationships with these guys. I encouraged them in their work, helped one guy move home to care for his ill father, and I often played golf with them on our days off. I occasionally shared my faith with them, but I mostly just tried to be a friend. As I approached the end of my seminary education, it was time to use those relationships I had built for God. With the permission of my boss, I invited the guys that I worked with to meet for a Bible study at McDonald's nearby the golf club. For several weeks, I invited the guys in person. I sent text messages telling each one when the study would start, and I hoped and prayed they would come. At first, I was discouraged. After 2 years of investing in these guys, listening to their political views without sharing my opinion, which was often different, and trying my best to stay up to date on the latest sports so I could engage in conversation with them, only one guy came to the Bible study. I was discouraged. All that time, all that investment for only one man. Him and I met every Friday, he and I met every Friday morning at 10 a.m. for several months. This young man had never opened a Bible in his whole life. He knew a little bit about Christianity, and he was open to it. He saw my life and how I lived, and he wanted to learn more. He was dating a girl and looking towards marriage, so we went through the Bible week by week, covering the Pentateuch all the way to the letters directed to the church about how to live life. That first day, I was discouraged that only one guy showed up after 2 years working toward evangelism and discipleship. But after months of meeting with him every week, it was worth every minute. Thanks for listening to this week's episode of the Maranatha podcast. This week's episode was titled Building Relationships and Doing Discipleship. My name is Christopher L. Scott. Thanks again for listening, and I hope you can join me for another episode soon.